Hello, my friends, and welcome back. It's episode
I always have a backup
135.
plan.
We are here for the loot. This vessel is furnished throughout with extraordinary ancient and sacred mechanisms. What a great temple it used to be. Majestic metal statue is frozen in a menacing combative pose.
I always keep my options open.
This noble warrior's armor and hermetics are undamaged, yet they are dead. What killed them? How dare they set up camp right in the heart of the sacred machines? The sacrilege amongst the blessed remains. Something simply ordered the spirit of this machine to die.
Is there money to be made?
This bay was breached from the inside, and then the text disappeared so fast I could not read it. What kind of paranoia drove the crew to place a cannon platform here in the very heart of the ship? Barbaric inscriptions blasphemously profane the flesh of this sacred machine to echo the words of the Requiem of reverent shutdown. This cogitator's pattern is sold and sacred. I've never seen the like of it before. These barbarians are pillaging the ship's supplies. I am registering a Category 9 blasphemy.
Get left in the dust.
Okay.
Watch your steps.
Oh. Heavy lifters. The wearer gains 30 strength. If the wearer has not moved the previous turn, their ranged attacks with heavy weapons deal 50% damage until the end of turn. Wow. That's crazy. Wearer gains 25 to athletics and becomes immune to toxin. Well, do we even have a heavy plasma? I don't think I do. 10 weapon skill and 5 strength. The strength doesn't improve chance to hit. I'm not sure if this is a good trade. This is obviously an extra couple of rate of fire. But the rate of fire of that thing will climb by itself anyway. Well, the wearer's weapon has 5 or more base rate of fire. Hit chance of the wearer's burst attacks is increased by 3 times BS bonus %, and recoil is negated. So recoil is already negated. Rate of fire of the weapon is increased by BS divided by 2%. So do you want to swap? See, 85 divided by 2 is 42.5% more rate of fire. Or you could have 30 strength and 50% damage. As long as you don't move. The strength is just not that useful. For her. She's already got the power armor talent, so she's not going to need strength to wear armor, which is why you might equip this. That 50% more damage is better. But it does encourage you to sit still. Which is not something you end up doing a lot of the time. There's no such thing as a heavy sniper rifle. He'd be doing it just for the 5 strength, but do you want to give up the 10 weapon skill? Because it's a weapon skill that affects chance to hit. Um, 5% armor is kind of not that exciting. Since athletics is his primary skill, why not? I think we'll just keep it as it is. I'm not going to ruminate over this too much.
Keep your wits about you.
Abelard's biggest problem is actually hitting the target, not doing damage to it. Once he actually starts hitting the target, he drains their stats away, and then it's not really a problem anymore. Volkite carbine was fired here, and then, God, the text just disappeared. Now everything is clear. A battle happened here, and boom, the text just disappeared. A battle was fought here during the preparations for Armanet declared Observatorium off limits. Even to fellow servants of the Omnissiah, the Explorators, it was an internal conflict, and he expected earnest, wild tech comrades to become his enemies. Okay. Ancient servitor seems dead. The infrequent twitching of his head is the only glimmer of life left in him. Numerous augmetic relicula embedded in the body of the servant of the Omnissiah speak to his high standing and devoutness. Can you activate him? The tech priest carefully touches the servitor's withered body with its mechadendrites. Data spikes slide out of them and sink into the servitor as augmetics. Pascal Vox sounds thoughtful and slightly puzzled. Identify this unit as Margos Logis Hexadon 9. The unit received 7 commendations for advances in astrography. Recorded in the fleet archive of the unit, he liked watching the stars. He called them the beacons left for us by the Omnissiah. Servitor gives a jolt, raises his head, fixes his augmented eyes upon you. The large black circles of his visors are cloudy and covered in scratches. A pained moan comes from the speaker of the servant's throat. Unit status operational. Unit identifies itself as no data available. Error, malfunction. The Omnissiah knows what. He is suffering. This unit is long past its operational life expectancy, but the particularly ancient and sacred true flesh it was awarded for its outstanding service to the fleet is prolonging its years. This statement is false. My archive has no record of any encounters with this unit or archive requests concerning it. I just know, and I grieve. The tribe's people inscribed his body with the blessed manual of maintenance and repair. Hypothesis is ignorant as to the true purpose of this litany. They perceived it as a health replenishing magic spell. Tech brother Hectodon 9. This unit identifies itself as Pascal Hunneman. Can you hear me? Do you know me? Can you tell me what happened here? A spark lights up in his visors and he utters with great strain, executing function. All reserve capacities engaged in executing primary function.
I always have a backup plan.
Okay. Now what? Oh, I suppose we could just talk to this guy, right? The ghosts of nothingness have entered the deck of the Asian tribe. Greet your tribe, we come in peace. It does not matter, you are ghosts. The middle-aged man carries a potentia coil on his shoulders after the manner of tech priests. It's held in place by straps and is not connected to anything. Its weight has given him a hunched back. One of his arms has been replaced by an exquisite tech scribe-o-matic. Quills and styli are incredibly dull as though they have been scraped against bare rock. And the limb's servo motor is dormant. The sight of mangled augmetic elicits a pained grimace from Pascal. I am registering evidence of precious true flesh being operated in unacceptable conditions. The markings indicate the sacred metal was fashioned many centuries ago on blessed Mars. Putting it to such crude and careless use is an insult to the Omnissiah. Hypothesis: this primitive community is made up of descendants of low-ranking technomats who once serviced this deck. The name Asgen derives from a category Akgen. Ak stood for the Acolyte category, which serviced the main decks. Gen referred to service staff who were assigned general as opposed to specialized maintenance duties. We hold vigil for all of existence. The spirits of the mechanisms give us water, food, and nutrient mix. We thank them for that with the rights of machine servicing and maintenance. So commands the great entity. I am registering multiple deviations from the catechism of maintenance and operation in the actions of these units. Hypothesis: the breaches of sacred instructions do not stem from malicious lapse into heresy. They are the consequence of the rite being lost to memory. A grave heresy, but not as profane. Supreme Deity, the Spirit of Wisdom and Revelations. It bears the name Marnat. I'm registering a meaningful linguistic pattern, registering all available information on Marnat. Marnat is a divine being of great wisdom. It was this great wisdom that discontinued the cycle. All who have partaken of it lapsed into nothingness. We never partook of the wisdom, which is why we exist, and I have nothing to tell you about it, Ghost. I am the Fabricator General. Our shoulders bear the sacred burden of leadership. The others fear you, as ghosts can carry the living away into nothingness. Fabricator General, I am registering heresy. The universe must have a Fabricator General, the supreme priest of the Omnissiah. There is none other to hold that title, therefore it is mine. The echo of an old crime was heard beneath the arcing vaults of our home. A ghost of nothingness walked among us like the appearance to you, but without a face. He spoke words that must not be spoken, and then penetrated the chamber of observers. And our abode was shaken by the wrath of the gods for days. We felt as though we were drifting through nothingness. An abode of deities and mighty spirits secluded from mortals. Down this great tube they used to descend to the mortals. Now they have all retired to the house of Observatus. Observus? I don't know. Observus? They love to make up words in 40k. The calm and keen-sighted, there to remember and mourn the world that once was. This unit is given a distorted description of the Observatorium, a bay that housed the Hermeticos Bridge. There, under the grand dome of glass Crete, the wisest hierarchs of the Adeptus Mechanicus would spend time in reflection and strive to discern the Omnissiah's guiding signs in the glitter of the stars. Correction, this data is hypothesis. An archive search yielded no confirmation of this data. My possession of it is an amalgamous cognitive fluctuation. Abandon this thought, your kind cannot go in there. The great tube was made for the travels of the gods, not mortals. Only one who has the blessing of Pref, the great spirit who rules this deck, may approach the great tube. But even such one would have tried in vain, for the great tube spirits have sealed the gate and will only open to those who know the divine word. And the rust wraiths ensure that humans don't steal the word. They make short work of any thief. Master of the deck and second most important god after Marnat. Mortals cruelly betrayed his trust once, and he hasn't taught to them or protected them since. Pref only ever answers to the shaman's invocations, and only occasionally. This tribe's profane speculations most likely describe an important machine spirit that remains awake, requesting conversation with the unit identified as the shaman. What divine word? Words command all of existence. The gods ruled the universe using words of power. There was a time when mortals too were granted the knowledge of them, but died along with the world. Hypothesis. The divine word refers to a command litany. A thorough understanding of the situation aboard the Hermetico will allow me to subject the correct litany and recite it to the mechanisms that are still operational. Ancient ones, servants of the gods. They used to be the gods' great warriors. Now they guard the peace of the universal cemetery and see it that mortals don't change the divine order. The Skitari, the deck guard. These immortal servants are an elite detachment of crew blessed with the most ancient and wondrous augmetic enhancements. They could survive a sleeping state for centuries even. Their presence here is unusual. Typically, the immortals only leave their storage chapel on special orders from the bridge. He knew the secret. The spell was not of divine origin. Its power surpassed that of the gods. It was born of mysterious depths of irregularity, and soon after a mortal first uttered it, the world was no more. The Blessed Armagnac can command any mechanism on his ship. The indoctrinal heresy uttered by the unit is unworthy of attention. Your guesses are amazingly spot on, Pascal. This statement is false. Each of the hypotheses was logically deduced from our present situation. A cycle was discontinued a long time ago. I believe the world has perished. The statement is true. The world ceased to exist a very long time ago. It turned to nothingness, to ashes. All that's left is these ruins, the last shard of the universe, its cenotaph. The unthinkable was wrought, the cycle was discontinued. The Triton's mind is full of the most unenlightened superstition. Why does this unit seemingly know less than some primitive barbarian? Neither, it just happened. It was a grievous event and we grieve. Yes, there is only nothingness outside the ship. Sometimes it spits out ghosts born of the world's ashes and they wander in. The sight of you saddens us, for we mourn you. Alas, there is nothing we can do to help you since you do not exist. Farewell, ghost. I hope nothingness summons you back to its embrace soon. Alright, they've lost it.
I always keep my options open.
Someone had to write that, Dross. We'd like to go up to the observatorium. Request denied. Access to the lift system is denied. Service is in obscuratoria mode. God, this word. Obscutoria is a complete ban on the holy ministry within the compound. Any and all sacred maintenance procedures are deferred until the ban is lifted. Obscutoria is declared when the temple is being compromised by suspected corruption before a battle in the event of a major critical incident. Hypothesis: Obscutoria was declared ahead of a battle in order to hinder a hostile infiltration of the observatorium. Knowing the reason enables the unit to deactivate the containment protocol. As its first pronouncement, this unit declares that no security threat to the High Observatorium is present. Second pronouncement, this unit orders the operation of the lift system to be restored. As its third pronouncement, this unit confirms the authorization to issue that order. Unit's hierarchical rank not recognized. Authorization to give orders unconfirmed. Awaiting confirmation. This unit is not part of the Hermetico chain of command. It must introduce itself to the ship's system to confirm its authority.
Is there money to be made?
Okay. That's a secret room, so there's not going to be anything in there.
Let us not dawdle.
Can't seem to talk to any of these. Aha, this must be the shaman. He can interpret our lesser tongue. I am registered in Category 6, 7, and 8 blasphemies in this Triton's vestments. Only enlightened tech priests are authorized to dismantle and interact with the bodies of sacred machines, and painting the skin in crude imitation of true flesh is a profane mockery. This is how I venerate the iron spirits who have done their duty and passed into nothingness, ghost. I do this in the hope that I might gain some of their wisdom. This statement is false. I am not registering any veneration. Ardek's great patron spirit who protects it and watches over everything that happens on it. Pref used to be a kind father to us until wicked people tricked him. That was when he disowned the mortals who lived here. He wiped the names of everyone who used to be under his patronage from his memory and no longer recognized their faces. Since then, Pref has been a harsh and cruel-hearted master who is deaf to our prayers. Pref, hypothesis. The barbarian is using this debased designation to refer to a prefect enumerator. An especially sacred cogitator served by all of the deck's junior machine spirits. I'm registering a Category 6 blasphemy. The tribesman claims to communicate with it. Only enlightened adepts of the Omnissiah are permitted to interact directly with a prefect enumerator. Hypothesis. The part of the legend that speaks of disowning the mortals and forgetting their faces describes removal of access rights from authorized units. For reasons unknown, Prefect Enumerator was ordered to cease accepting commands from outsiders. I'm registering Category. Blast it, layman. This blessed smoke is meant for sacred machines, not in your lungs. Primitive melody is a language, our language, a variety of rhythm-based tech vernacular in which its meaning is created by lengths of pauses between the signals. Okay. We've come to plead for Pref's benevolence. Every word you say is accompanied by a series of quick drum taps in a complex, choppy rhythm. Crackling comes in response from a vox hidden somewhere inside the wall. Tech Shaman lifts his head and says, "The great Pref would like to know who is speaking to him." The Prefect Enumerator is running an identification procedure. Given the existing data of the machine spirit's refusal to follow orders within the chain of command, standard identifiers will be assigned a low priority. The machine spirit speaks a tech priest language. Do we even need the old man? This statement is false. The idiom is distinctive vernacular, most likely used only by the ship's crew. It is intuitively familiar to this unit, but not intelligible. This unit is Magos Explorator Pascal Human, a member of the Cognizance Fleet, presenting doctrinal compliance and algorithmic obedience certificates. Pref asks why you should treat your words with respect and not scorn them. Machine Spirit is requesting to know this unit's access privileges. It refuses to submit to a stranger's will without compelling reason. Tech use test succeeded. Machine spirits can be capricious and undisciplined. After years without sanctified maintenance, this one may have forgotten all about obedience. Normally, in cases like these, a tech priest would bring the wayward spirit to its senses with a shock from an electric prod or a blow from a wrench, accompanied by a litany of uninterruptible obedience. Alright, show this machine its place. This statement is true. My power is my authorization. Acknowledge it or you will regret it, wayward spirit. Pref acknowledges your power. Ghost, he does. He asks why you seek his friendship. Hypothesis. Prefect Enumerator's request is to be interpreted as, what is the purpose of your visit? You know the answer yourself, Pascal. I have come to discontinue the cycle. The Great Pref does not recognize your name or your face. He will not grant you his friendship and bids you leave. Prefect Enumerator's reaction is anomalous. Such disregard for the regalia can only be explained by a protocol signifying extreme degree of danger to the vessel. Some identify him as the Messiah of discontinuing, although this statement is false. My power of Magos Explorator decorated 4 1-grade promotions, entitlement category 3 sacred augmentation, as well as likely the only active ordained tech priest of the Adeptus Mechanicus aboard this void ship, appoint myself as vessel's supreme hierarch. Let's try this instead. Following the orders of my mentor, Magos Armanat, and correcting a mistake made decades ago, you speak, but the Pref isn't convinced that he should listen. He chooses to remain deaf and indifferent.
Keep your wits about you.
What else am I supposed to be doing here?
I always have a backup plan.
This unit is a technico sent by the Supreme Conclave Congress Fleet to investigate, presenting code regalia. This is the hypothesis is of merit. The unit conducting a rescue mission in which the safety of an Archmatrix ranked unit is at stake, requesting emergency authorization. Fulfilling my sacred duty of the service of the machine gun, I intend to protect this blessed ship and the servants of the Omnissiah aboard it.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
I have no idea what to do here.
Is there money to be made?
I don't see anyone else I can... Doesn't seem to be anything else I should be doing.
I always keep my options open.
Maybe you have to like select the correct things. Prefect Enumerator states that he knows my name, is familiar with my power, respects my mission, and grants me place within the crew's chain of command. Your work here is done. Okay. You gotta select the 3 correct options. I remember this language now, and more precisely, this unit used to know it, and now it remembers having known it. Arresting an anomaly, data exchange deviated from standard registration procedure. Prefect Enumerator was commanded to limit the number of people who have clearance to issue orders, including even high-ranking tech priests from other ships. It was tasked with defending the observatorium as if it was under siege. Our mutual introduction rather resembled an exchange of secret passwords. As soon as the lift going up to the observatorium is operational, we will be attacked. The deck guard will activate and attack us, requesting confirmation of readiness for combat. Regalia identified. I greet the vulnerable Megos and will execute the order presently. Lift system activated.
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
Here we go. Okay, I'm going to say that's it for now because we are out of time. It's a perfect moment to stop. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.